Perfect. I was just about to suggest, Naomi, that we get started. Perfect timing. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Million Mom Movement. My name is Sherry Packard, and I've been a council member with the Million Mom Movement for just under a year now. And it's been an amazing ride. The Million Mom Movement was something that really pulled at my heart from the moment I stepped into Purium. I was so happy to find out that a movement like this existed. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And I began listening to every single recorded call that I could get my hands on. Spent a lot of time on our YouTube channel. I would listen to the recordings while I was making supper, while I was going for walks, while I was working out. Any spare moment, I was listening to the calls. And why I think this pulled at it pulled at my heartstrings for many reasons, but the ones that really stand out is as a mom. So I am a holistic nutrition and health coach, but even more important than that, I'm a mom. And empowering my kids in terms of their lifestyle, their health, their nutrition has always been at the core of some of the things that I really wanted to instill in my kids. And the Million Mom Movement really helps that, really helps make that possible. The community is amazing. And there's just such a wealth of information shared. We talk about lifestyles, we talk about healthy choices, and we're really, we act as a support for one another in stepping into healthier ways of life, right? And really empowering ourselves. And empowerment is at the heart of what I do as a health coach and why I stepped into that role, why it was important to me to do that. Because after empowering myself in my own health, coming from a place of a lot of anxiety, feeling like health was really the luck of the draw, and feeling so disempowered in it. And being able to shift from that to a place of empowerment and truly understanding that so much of our health is within our control and that there's so much available to us, so much that we can do. To know that that was an option, I really wanted to then bring that out to the world and share that with everybody and make sure that everyone is aware that, there's so much they can do and we can all become empowered. And I think that if I had to think of one word to describe the Million Mom Movement, I think it would be, well, there would probably be two: community and empowerment. And that's actually one of the things that we are going to do here today. We are going to ask everybody. So first of all, to go ahead and put in the chat how long you've been with us, because today we are celebrating 20 years of amazing superfoods. Purium has their anniversary. It's 20 years. So we want to know how long you've all been here. So go ahead and put in the chat how many years you've been around, not necessarily with us in the Million Mom Movement, although we're so happy to have all of you here, but with Purium itself. And then we're going to ask you also to, throughout this call, think of a word that could describe your feelings about Purium, what Purium has done for you. So we're really thinking, along the lines of our appreciation of Purium. And so if everybody can, think about a word, and at the end of the call, we're going to open it up, and so we can all share that one word that truly describes, I guess, our experience in Purium, with Purium, what it's done for us. I'm only one of many amazing council members. Naeva is here with me today. We also have Allison and Tammy. Tammy I believe this was Tammy's last week, and she had something come up unexpectedly today, so she was unable to join us. And Allison is celebrating her amazing husband's birthday, so we wish Jared a very happy birthday. And they are definitely still with us in spirit on this call. And so from now, I think the first thing that we're going to do is open it up. We love to start our calls with our pledge, reading of the pledge. And so this is the part of the call where I kind of put somebody on the spot, unless we have a volunteer, someone who would like to read our pledge today. Anyone could put their hand up. If not, I'll just choose somebody. Oh, Mary Beth. Okay, Mary Beth, can we unmute Mary Beth?
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and the environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. Thank you.
I was muted. Thank you so much, Mary. If I could just put you on the spot for one more minute and just ask you what that means to you when you read that pledge, what comes to mind? What does it mean for you? Mute her again. Neva, can you unmute her? I can't seem to, oh, wait. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I remuted myself because I had a
That, that's okay.
screaming child in the background. Oh, screaming of joy. But so what it means to me, I immediately think of my children, and I just think about um, my grandparents too, who I saw them pass as they weren't very healthy. And I just think of all the ways that we can prevent and help our children and our elderly and also ourselves. And just pledging to do simple things like reading ingredients and advocating for organic and making that the norm. So it really means everything to me because I care about my family so much, and I know there's little things that we can all do each day to help the well-being of all of us for many generations to come. So yes, regenerate the world. I see Karen Clark say, I agree.
Love that. Love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I can absolutely resonate. I think we all can. Um, Children is a big one, creating the type of world that we want to see for them in the future. That's definitely within our control. We all have a part to play in that. And I love that the Million Mom Movement stands for a movement of many, because it's not just parents, right, who have a stake in that, or who can help make a difference in that area. We all can, no matter whether we're parents or not. And I think it's so important. I think it's something that we all need to be concerned of. And becoming conscious consumer is definitely a place to start. There's so much power in that. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so now I believe, Naeva, do we go ahead with your guest or?
Um, yeah, let's bring her on. I have a guest here who has been with Purium for nearly 10 years. She's a naturopath, she's an iridologist, she's a mom. She has so many talents. I'll let her introduce herself a little bit more. But I'm so honored to know her. She's just such an incredible person. And she's been somebody that from the very beginning has always really just loved the greens that we have here. And since we're celebrating the original products at Purium and a lot of our single ingredient products, I thought it'd be so great for her to come and share why it is that she chooses these certain products and maybe a little bit about how she uses them. So, Haley, I'm looking for you. If you'll raise your hand so I can unmute you, let me find you on here. There you are.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi, Haley. Thank you so
Hi.
much for being here with us.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm glad I was able to. My son is watching a little movie, so I can have some time. So maybe he'll come over and pop in and say hey.
Perfect. Well, I'm so happy to have you here. And when this subject came across into my field, you were like the first person that popped into my mind of like, this is the perfect call for Haley to come and share with
Yeah.
us. Because I know that you and your son love to enjoy like spirulina smoothies and kamut juice or barley greens juice just on its own. And I know a lot of us are accustomed to having like the power shake or some of the blends. And so I thought it'd be great for you to share like why do you choose these single ingredient greens? And then like maybe if you want to share a little bit about how you make them yummy, then we'd love to learn from you.
Yeah, that sounds great. This is definitely my specialty call. Thank you, Neeva, for having me. Thank you so much. I joined Purium many moons ago. I was probably 8 to 10 years or something, definitely more recently than Neeva. So yeah, somewhere around there, 8 to 10 years. And I just looked at their ingredient list, and I'm kind of hardcore about that pledge that you guys just read. That's what we all should do, and that's what I do. And I have really high standards for what it takes to put something into my body and then my son's body. And Purium just got all the check marks for strong integral ingredients and a strong integral company. Not only are the ingredients astonishing, but Dave and Amy are also astonishing. And so those two have to be there for me. And I don't take any other supplements. I don't have any other things other than food. And yeah, Purium is just amazing. Sometimes I joke with people that don't let the fact that Purium is an MLM turn you off because there's so many other junky MLMs out there for so many things. And I love to share why Purium is an MLM, like why Dave is choosing to pay us, not Whole Foods or Jeff Bezos or whatever, you know. And yeah, I fell in love back in the day. We had something, and maybe you know better than I do. I think it was called Scoop of Greens, and maybe now it's called More Greens, but we had this product that was called Scoop of Greens, and it was just all the good stuff. It was spirulina and chlorella and wheatgrass and all the sprouts. And it didn't taste very good, but you put it in a smoothie and it tasted just fine. And that was when Purium's business model was a little bit different way back when. And I just bit the bullet and just bought it retail. I already knew about the business side, but the lady that introed me to the business side, I wasn't super keen on. And so I was just like, no, I don't want to do the business thing. I'll just eat this all day, every day. And I found myself consuming so much of it and sharing it with so many people that I was like, well, I should probably sign up for the business side because this could be much smarter. And then I just happened to sync up with somebody that's in our downline, our Purium ancestry, and just fell in love with her. And she became my upline, which was really fun. And the things that stand out to me most about Purium's green powders and all of the green ingredients, and really most of the ingredients in all the things, Purium's Power Shake or the MVP protein or really anything, is that they're grown on the farms, they're processed on the farms, and the way that they're processed is what creates the difference in Purium versus pretty much everything else. There's a couple other companies that sometimes they'll get close to Purium's quality, like Sun Warrior, I think is one, and sometimes that Garden of Life, but Purium always does better. I've always checked of which one's better, which one's more nutritious, which one's higher quality, and Purium always goes above and beyond, always. And the thing that I love is how they're processed. So I don't know if you guys know this, but once you heat a food over a certain amount of degrees, it starts to destroy the nutrition. And for some foods, that doesn't really matter. But if you're going to buy something that you're trying to get vitamin C out of it, or good quality iron, or the enzymes, or the B vitamins, or the E vitamins, then you want it to be raw. And raw means that it's processed or heated or dehydrated under 118 degrees Fahrenheit. And if it's processed over that, it's kind of like a dead thing. So we could take our wheatgrass juice powder, which is my favorite thing that Purium has, hands down. And I think that's the first thing we started with. I think Dave just had wheatgrass juice and then it became wheatgrass juice powder. And he's like, well, I can help more people if I have more things other than just wheatgrass powder. Because there's only a few weirdos out there that will have the wheatgrass juice powder. People love the Power Shake, which has wheatgrass juice powder in it, but doesn't quite taste like wheatgrass juice powder, right? And you can compare. I've lived all over the world and I've traveled with my Purium, and sometimes I haven't, so I've had to source other wheatgrass juice powders. And if you compare our wheatgrass juice powder to any other wheatgrass juice powder, you can just see the color and the smell and the taste and the vitality is transcendental kind of to the other ones. You could just see in the color. And if you look at the other ones, if it's a wheatgrass juice powder or just a wheatgrass powder, ours is the juice powder. So it's cold pressed juiced and then dehydrated at like, it's either 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 80. I can't remember in this moment, but it's so low. It's pretty amazing. Maybe you were just saying, Martha, that you know the numbers. Could you type it in the chat if you remember, if anybody remembers the exact, but it's either 68 degrees or 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
I think that's what I remember. I think it was around 80 degrees or 85 degrees.
Yeah, which is unheard of for somebody. That means that Purium really cares. Oh, 80 to 85, awesome. That means that Purium really cares. They're not just making powders, green powders to share. Dave is very aware. He's very educated on what you have to do to keep something nutritionally hearty and sound. And Yeah, so that's what I love about our green powders. And that converts to all of the things that have the green powders in it, which is almost everything we have, right? Has the green things in it. That also goes for our sprouts and our sprouted and fermented things. Everything is dehydrated at such a low temperature that all the vitamin C is intact, which is generally why people are turning to these foods, is they're wanting more vitamin C, more B vitamins, more E vitamins, more calcium, more iron, right? And yeah, I love, like I said, our wheatgrass juice powder, which is called the Kamut, right? And that one's on sale currently. I think we have two sizes. We have the small and the large. Oh, a hummingbird. But the large ones is better in my experience. If anybody asks ever which one to get, definitely get the family size, because the small one you'll use up real quick. It is like a good sample taste, but the family size is much better. And you'll find that, again, the other wheatgrass juice powders or the other superfood shakes, most of them are dehydrated at such a high temperature that you're wasting your money. You're just kind of getting dull and dead powders, right? And Sun Warrior is a good one. A lot of theirs are raw, but ours are even lower temperature. And we have all of our things are sprouted as well, which is a difference between Purium and a lot of the other companies, which makes a difference, you know, when you're sprouting and activating foods. So the thing that's on my back order and my always ship is always the spirulina powder and the Kamut wheatgrass juice powder. One thing that's super important for everybody to know too is that even though it's wheatgrass juice powder, it has no wheat in it. There's no gluten in it. It's 120% safe for people with celiac disease, which I have. And because when you take a wheat berry, that's what it's called. But when you take a wheat seed, a wheat berry, that has gluten in it. But once it sprouts and once the chlorophyll comes into play, once it turns green, then as long as you're just harvesting the grass, there's no gluten in it, not even a single lick of a trace. You know, that's a glutenless food. It's a grass, right? And I think for some silly reason we had on there that it contained gluten, but that's going to be off the label. I'm not sure why it was there before. Some kind of probably legal thing, but that's going to be on the new label reprints. That's not going to be on there, thank goodness. Which means it's going to come off a lot of the products too. Everything, so many things have the wheatgrass juice powder in it, you know. And the wheatgrass juice powder that we have tastes amazing because it also has, my cat's rolling on my stand here. Because it also has not only the wheatgrass juice powder, which is the heirloom Kamut Egyptian variety of wheatgrass, but it also has oat grass juice powder, so the grass of the oat plant, and alfalfa leaf juice powder, which is a plant that grows all around here. Wheatgrass is also growing here too. And all of those contain so much nutrition, so much calcium, so much iron, so much amino acids, B vitamins, vitamin C. They're amazing. There's a really amazing person that Dave actually studied with. And this is why I was like, oh, Dave's my man. This woman named Ann Wigmore, AnnWigmore. And she has a lot of amazing books. One of them is called Be Your Own Doctor. That one's a life-changing book. And then she also has ones like the Sprouting book and the Wheatgrass book. Be Your Own Doctor is out of print now, so it's like $100 for a copy when it used to be like $4 for a copy. But that book will change your life and really give you a lot of education on the power of wheatgrass. A lot of people, when they're wanting to eat meat and things, they actually are really craving something like wheatgrass, which it's okay to eat meat for sure. But wheatgrass matches our body's nutritional needs more than anything. And I know people say that about sea moss nowadays, but wheatgrass more so meets all of our nutritional needs. And I've lived off of wheatgrass for long periods of time. It's really, really amazing. And so with the alfalfa leaf juice and the oatgrass juice powder, all mixed in with the wheatgrass juice powder, it creates this really full spectrum multivitamin. The only thing that it's missing and why I combine it with the spirulina powder when I make what we call green milk is the spirulina powder has tons of protein, tons of amino acids, and tons of B vitamins. So for probably 10 years or however long I've been with Purium, I've been making what I call my green milk. And I used to call it my fast food green juice. And then when I started my school the students were like, that tastes disgusting and like pond water. So they called it pond water, even though I preferred fast food green juice. And I was like, okay, guys, well, we're going to turn a lot of people off if we call it pond water. And then another gal said, well, how about ocean water? And I was like, yeah, but that makes it seem like maybe there's sea moss in it. And then another gal called it green milk. And that really does, it sounds nicer than pond water. But it does help to describe it because it's very milky and feels like milk, mermaid food, yes. And I try to drink this every day. If I don't drink it, I'm like, ooh, what did I miss? So this is, I'm hardcore. So you might want to start out smaller, but if you do this every day, let me know and let me know what you feel and what you notice. Especially if you just notice that you're low in minerals or low in iron, then this can be your best friend. So this is, I do 2 tablespoons of each in a mason jar, glass with water. And I have my shaker ball in there, or else it's, you guys know, the shaker ball is a crucial piece. And you can always order extra online if you have lost your shaker ball or need extra, but that's a pivotal piece because it gets the powder shaken up. And you guys can see just the bubbles. It's just amazing, right? So alive. So pause that. The reason why Purium is amazing and it's alive is because it was dehydrated at such a low temperature that it becomes active. It becomes alive. It's not a dead powder, and you can see that. And you also know that if you've left it out for a little while, it smells like a smoothie, like you left it out for a little while because it's alive and you're simply adding the life to it when you add the water, right? It's like astronaut food in a sense, right? And if you guys haven't yet watched the farm to family video on YouTube, that's amazing because it helps to educate you guys on why this is actually more sustainable than grocery store food, because there's no refrigeration needed. That's an amazing video. It's my favorite video to send to people. Yeah. So I do 2 tablespoons. Yeah, baby. Oh, that's okay. I do 2 tablespoons of each in water, but usually people like to start out with like 1 teaspoon of each in water. Do you come say hi? Come say hi. Hi. There's Nieva. Okay.
Hi, Rama.
Hi. Bye. He's watching Rhea and the last track. So yeah, 1 teaspoon to 2 tablespoons. You can't overdo this. These are such safe foods that you could drink 100 of these a day and you would do just fine. You'll notice your hair will get stronger, your teeth will get stronger, you'll feel more hearty. A lot of times if I'm doing a fast, I always make sure I have this. I always make sure I have my herbal teas and I have this. So even if I'm doing a water fast or a juice fast or a mono fruit fast or a raw food fast, this always is part of it because then I know I'm not going to get depleted. And so many people, especially nowadays, because we're all so stressed, we can't go without our minerals because we just get zapped. We have the 5G, we have all the microwaves, we have all the craziness. That we need these. Allie, this is the Kamut wheatgrass juice powder. And it is wheatgrass juice powder, but in the shop, you have to search for Kamut, Kamut. It's under the greens section as well. And then it's the spirulina powder. So you'll notice there's 2 sizes of the wheatgrass Kamut. There's the small, which is, don't do that one, it's too small. The family size is what you want. And then there's the spirulina powder and spirulina capsules. You can totally do the capsules, but the powder is better to me because then it's more multi-purpose. And yeah, try this every day. One of my students puts maple syrup in it. I think that makes it taste gross, but if that's your cup of tea. And then the way to use these in our smoothies, we also though have barley grass juice powder, which is very similar to wheatgrass juice powder, just has a little slightly different nutritional spectrum. So sometimes it can be nice to alternate between the two or add a little bit of that to your green milk. For some reason, to me, the barley grass juice powder in here really alters the flavor. The barley grass juice is like a little more sour. I don't prefer it in my green milk. But the way that I sneak it into our foods is I simply just sneak it. I put it wherever it's appropriate. The wheatgrass juice powder has a relatively neutral flavor and the spirulina is much stronger. And I don't think spirulina tastes good in savory foods. It really only tastes good as sweet foods. So if you're ever making any type of smoothie, at least put a little bit of wheatgrass juice powder. Your kids will never know it's there You'll never know it's there. The spirulina alters the taste a little bit, so that one's not as disguisable, like I said. But the barley grass juice powder and the wheatgrass juice powder, you can just put that in anything. And honestly, for me, the same goes for our advanced probiotics, our biomedic, our vitamin C from nature. And then anything that's berry, I like to add the apothecary and biofruit. Those are just easy to add a little bit in because you're getting such more mineral support and so much more vitamin support when you're just adding them into your things. So those can go into smoothies. They can go into popsicles. They can go into nice cream. They can go into yogurts. They can go into raw food cakes. Like I just made a raw food cake that the cashew filling was apothecary, biofruit, biomedic, the advanced probiotics, vitamin C from nature, and then had some blueberries and strawberries in it. And then it was water and lemon juice. And that's amazing. That made a perfect cheesecake situation. And then, oh, mine has melted. I made these like sea moss. They're frozen. They're supposed to be gummies, but I don't really know how to make gummies. But this was cherries, apothecary, biofruit, sea moss gel, vanilla, and maple, something like that. And so with your kids, if you have kids, or even you, if your taste buds are sensitive and you want it to taste yummy, just start slowly. If your end goal is to have a tablespoon or two every day, go easy because you're not going to eat it if it tastes yucky, and you're not really going to want to make it if it tastes yucky. And same with your kids, they're not going to eat it. So yeah, like Neva said, start slow and improve over time. Just like a little bit is amazing, and you won't be able to taste it. And then the next week, add a little bit more. And then soon you're like, wow, I'm getting a lot of goodness in me, right? You can also add this to like almond milk or coconut milk. That's really yummy. And yeah, my other favorites are the ones I've said, right? The vitamin C from nature, you'll never find. I mean, I've never found a vitamin C supplement that compares at all. And it's nice because you can open up the capsules, right? But that vitamin C is amazing. Most other vitamin C's have like cornstarch or maltodextrin or some kind of filler or fluffing agent. And Purium's is just whole foods. It's wonderful. And the ingredients that are in there are amazing. I love the apothecary. It's so multi-purpose and so effective. It's so good for gout. It's so good for anemia, so good for the kidneys, so good for everybody who wants to sleep better, which is everybody, right? It's so good for anybody that comes in contact with blue light, right? We have the best parasite formula ever. I have an herbal medicine company, but I don't want to recreate the parasite blend because ours is the best. The herbal formula and the herbs combined in that synergistic way are the best. Yes, baby. Almost. Yeah. And let me know if you guys have any other questions too. I know I just rambled a whole bunch. But I'm happy to answer anything or clarify anything. And thank you so much for having me on as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Haley, for sharing your wisdom, and so grateful for you and your knowledge and everything that you've shared. And I'll pass it back over to Sherry unless anybody has a question for Haley. And Haley, are you going to be on till the end?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can take questions towards the end. I'll pass it over to you, Sherry.
That sounds great.
Perfect. Thank you, Naiva. And thank you so much, Haley. There's so much. Oh, it's such a wealth of information. I love your suggestions, and I love like not just telling us about what you love. Like you feel the passion, and you feel the belief and and how strongly you feel about what you take on a daily basis, and that's the goal, right? It's not just to supplement for the sake of supplementing. It's not just we want to be very purposeful about our health and about the choices that we make. And clearly, that's what's going on for you. So that was great, Cher. Thank you so much. Now we wanted to move on to a little trivia that Naiva and I put together. We thought, hey, it's 20 years of superfoods. Let's have some fun with this. So we're going to go ahead and ask you guys some trivia questions. So go ahead and get ready. Put your answers in the chat, okay, as we go. So actually, Naiva, you want to ask the first question?
Sure, I'd love to. I'm so excited for this fun game. Let's gamify this. So, who here knows who was the first brand partner with Purium? He started with direct sales. I just gave you a tip accidentally um, back 20 years ago. So, I'm curious to know who here knows who was the first brand partner with Purium? Yay! Answer Ian Farrar was the very first brand partner. Back to you, Sherry.
Awesome, perfect. All right, second question. What was the first product that Purium developed? A little hint, we just talked a whole lot about it. There you go. It's definitely the Kamut blend. Awesome.
Amazing. So we want to know who here knows how many ingredients are in the Power Shake? Drop me the number. Good guess, Martha, Kristen. I don't see the right answer yet.
Yeah, but close.
Oh, very close. We're getting there.
Oh,
Oh,
so
Jennifer, you're
far,
really close.
yeah, Jennifer's closest. Allie is close. Randy's close.
Haley, you got it. Oh, I think it was a direct message to me though.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't see it.
Haley said 12. There are 12 ingredients in the Power Shake.
Awesome. Although, there's some answers I love, like 37, 33. The amount of power in terms of the amount of nutrients in there you would think equate to there being so many more, but that's goes to show just how powerful the right blends are, right? We don't need a huge list of ingredients sometimes to get very, very powerful nutrition. So next question, how many products are in the juice bar in a bag? Let's see, everybody here knows? Good job.
Wonderful.
Yeah, awesome. It is 6. And now, second part to that question, can you name them? Which might take a little bit longer by chat, but we'll give a minute or two. If someone wants to, if you can name them. How digest can't beat this. Cocoa hydrate, biofruit, green spectrum, carriage is amazing. Awesome.
Amazing, everyone. Yep. So how many grams of protein do you get per super amino 23? So how much is one capsule?
This one, yeah, I've heard so many different answers to this question.
So my understanding of the aminos is that it's 1 gram of protein per amino capsule, which is why the recommendation is 5 capsules, which would be 5 grams of protein. I did message Dave. I didn't hear back from him this morning. Oh, yes, I did actually. He says, let's see what Dave says. Yes, but compared to other protein sources, it could be equal to as much as the equivalent of having 3 or even 5 grams of other protein sources because of its sufficiency and digestion. So, it's 1 gram of protein per amino, but it could be equal to 5 grams of protein of other proteins that you have to break down and digest. We clarified that because I know across the board we had a lot of different answers coming in. So hopefully that helps.
That's a great one. All right, next question. Which one of our current sales items helps to promote heavy metal detoxifying? So it's a current sales item. We will be going over the sales items a little bit soon, but there you go. Everybody seems to know.
Awesome.
Cracks out chlorella.
Let me pull my screen over here. What item in our sale is helpful to reduce glucose spikes between meals and also helps to produce breast milks for new mothers? Barley grass juice. We love that barley grass juice.
So powerful for so many things. Next question. How many different products come in our ULT? The regular, yeah. So I know there's many different ULT packages, but we'll just go with the main quote unquote regular ULT package. Yeah, Lauren, Michelle, Allison, you're right. 5. And can we take it a step further and ask you to name them? Just the superfoods. How many can you name? Who can name all 5 superfoods that come in the ULT? Biomedic, Power Shake, Apothecary, Super Cleanser, Aminos. Perfect. Awesome. You guys got it.
What product is considered nature's multivitamin?
Also part of the sales.
Absolutely. Yes.
Spirulina.
Spirulina is the one.
And the answer to the next one is not part of the sales, but nonetheless, a very popular one these days. What is Purium's newest product? Pineal Clear, that's right. Everybody's got it.
Let's see. Last but not least, which sales product is beneficial for weight loss? And if you're on Dave's call this past Wednesday, then you know he talked quite a bit about it. Yes, the control pre-meal capsules. If
Okay.
anybody's on a plateau or if they're,
Mhm.
just wanting to lose weight gradually, doing the ULT and more of like an intermittent fasting schedule, then the control pre-meal capsules can really help to boost that weight loss goal, and help you to not absorb the carbs. It creates complex carbohydrates so that way your body can process it better when you're eating sugars and carbs, which is phenomenal. So definitely a product that we love and we don't want it to be overlooked. And it's part of our current sale. So back over to you, Sherry.
Awesome. And that's a great way to go into our sales. So Naiva and I have a couple of slides that we wanted to share. We're going to go over the sales items briefly, but Dave's call was very informative in terms of what each of the sales items do, why they're so beneficial to our health, what they're made from. We'll go over that a little bit, but Naiva and I just wanted to discuss a bit about why we choose these sales items and how we found that they've been helpful for ourselves and how, perhaps they can be helpful for everyone else. So, Naiva, do you have that to pull up?
Yeah, let me just share my screen.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we want to share all the slides or just the ones for the sale?
No, I think we had said we wanted to. There was so much good to them. We thought that we would just go through them.
Okay, we'll do it kind of quick.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
went to the page. Perfect.
Yeah. Excellent.
I don't know how it
Okay.
did that, but it literally just skipped to page 17 with all the sales on it. So that was
It's all good. Maybe we can put the link to these slides at the end so that everyone can take a look at them. They're a really great tool that can be used and shared in the coming days. So we want to go ahead and go through these. So, I mean, thanks to Haley as our guest today. She really did go into several of these in great detail. I loved what she had to say, Haley, what you had to say about the Camu blend. It was the very first superfood with Purium, so much great health benefits to it. I love to have it straight up. I just mix it with water. I love the way it froths. Same for the barley green juice in that matter. They're just such great greens. On Dave's call on Wednesday, he talked a lot about the importance of chlorophyll. And all of these greens contain chlorophyll and what chlorophyll does for the body, what it does for plants, what it does for the body, what it even does for the environment, right? It releases oxygen, it releases ozone. It's so important for us. And they're really, in my opinion, there's nothing better than greens. If I even prepare a meal and there's nothing green on the plate, I feel like something is missing, right? So chlorophyll is so important as a green, but I mean, all greens have the chlorophyll in them, and that's what makes greens one of the many reasons why greens are so potent and so important for our diets on a daily basis. And this is such an incredible way to increase the amount that you get. There's no better way, in fact, to increase the amount of greens, and everybody should be increased. If there's one thing that people can do, definitely what stands out is to increase the amount of greens. But unfortunately, like we know, we can't just go and get greens from anywhere. Quality is really going to be important here. How it's grown is going to be important. What it contains, other than just, you know, the greens themselves. So many contain heavy metals. And so you really want to be careful. And this is a way that we get to ensure that we can increase the amount of greens in our diets and do it in a way that is just beneficial for the body and does so, so much good. I want to skip quickly to barley green juice just because that one is one of the very first products that we used as a family. And that's because I had read so much about barley helping control sugar spikes with type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes for that matter. And so it was one that I quickly added to my son's diet with his diagnosis. And it's been huge. I mean, this has become a part of our daily life. He regularly, now he's 14, and he'll just go to the cabinet and pull the barley green juice out and make himself a quick little shot of it, even in between his meals, especially if he's had something that was perhaps a little bit higher in starchy sugars than he would normally have. It's been a great way to help him come down from higher glucose readings if we were out for a meal, or if you didn't, you know, if for whatever reason his glucose is a little out of control, barley green juice is so great at helping to keep that balance and prevent those spikes. So that one is near to my heart because it's really become a favorite here, in addition to the other benefits that we had already spoken about earlier. Neva, you want to take the next two?
Absolutely. So, yeah, I love all of these, and I'm so happy to hear that you know, started with the barley greens juice. I've been really enjoying doing a kumquat barley latte where I will do either one or the other, or I'll mix the two together and I'll just blend them and they naturally become frothy. So it's like a latte. You don't need to add anything to it. If it's too green for you to do that, then you can add a little bit of oat milk or plant milk of your choice to make it a little bit creamier, which I enjoy it like that. But when I first started, I did add just a tiny bit of honey to sweeten it up. And it really was like having a matcha latte. So that's one of my go-to favorites. I just wanted to mention that. And then chlorella is so great for our bodies. We have it in two forms. We have the powder and then we have the little tablets. And my children really love to eat the tablets. They just chew them up. I personally just like to swallow the little tablets. But they're so good for you. They're so great for your cell rebuilding, for your cellular detox, for detoxing heavy metals, binding them and pulling them out of your body. I mean, cracked cell chlorella has so many benefits, and it is also a part of our power shake and many of our other green blends, but you can also get it individually and add it into and fortify your foods or your drinks that way as well, add it into your smoothies in different areas. And it's also really good for your pets. It's part of our Epigenius cats and dogs has the chlorella in it because it really does also help them with their cell rejuvenation and just staying healthy and detoxing heavy metals and all the things that maybe they come in contact with in the grass and the food that they eat. And then of course, spirulina that we've talked about quite a bit today because it's such an amazing product. If you didn't know, like we mentioned earlier in our trivia, spirulina is nature's multivitamin. It has everything you need in it to really, you know, it has all those healthy fats and omegas and protein, and it's just got so much in it, so many vitamins, and it's something that can really help to fortify your smoothie or your food, especially if you have maybe a picky child that doesn't like to eat their greens. It's really great. You can mix it into their smoothies and turn it, you know, I like to make like a blueberry smoothie or strawberry smoothie and put just enough spirulina to turn it a really pretty pink or purple. And then they don't even know that it's in there because you haven't changed it to turn green, which is usually where they're like, nope, I don't want it because now it's green. But if you can keep it that beautiful smoothie color and still add some spirulina or some of these other greens to it, you're really adding so much nutrients to it. It's also great for eyesight, for your healthy hair. It's really beneficial during pregnancy in the third trimester, especially. to really make sure that you're getting a ton of protein. And it's also so great with all those omegas for like your brain and your baby's brain, and so many things. And it also comes, so this one comes in capsules, it comes in powder, and then we have cocoa mint spirulina, which is so delicious. So literally like a dessert. And I really like to make cocoa mint spirulina ice cream, nice cream with avocados and frozen bananas and a little bit of coconut cream. You freeze the bananas, you have a little bit of avocado in there, some coconut cream, I add ice cubes to it, and then cocoa mint spirulina, and it really is delicious. If you want to make it like a mint chip, you can add some cacao nibs or, you know, traditional chocolate chips if you're eating chocolate. And it is so delicious, and it's like, you know, cheating without cheating, because you're getting so many benefits from what you would think is like this cheat treat, but it's actually so good for you that you can feel really good about it. Is there anything you want to add, Sherry?
Yeah, well, I love that. We make the nice cream as well with the cocoa mint spirulina. It's so delicious. I compare it to like a chocolate mint ice cream, which,
Mhm.
back when we used to have dairy, like that was one of my favorites. Even as a kid, I love that chocolate chip mint ice cream. And so you can really get it to taste that way and getting so many benefit from having the spirulina in there. Yeah, so one thing that I wanted to just mention quickly. So chlorella and spirulina are often confused, right? Or like which one's which, what's good for what. But the way I like to remember it, and actually Dave mentioned this on Wednesday's call. I was so happy that he made that differentiation, is that so chlorella can really be seen as a key detoxifier, right? It helps to detoxify the body, it helps to protect the body, and it helps it's a chelator. So what it essentially does is binds to heavy metals and helps to safely remove them from the body. This makes chlorella such a great option for kids because our kids need detoxifying too. Our kids need heavy metal detoxing too. But you want to ensure that you're doing that in a very safe way for them, in a much more gentle way than we would perhaps go about doing these things. So chlorella is such a great way to do that with our children. My kids literally eat these cracked chlorella tabs like candy. They'll pop them like candy. They each, take out their amounts in the morning, and they enjoy them during, throughout their morning. It's next to them by their computers because they homeschool, or with their breakfast. And the only issue we have with them is that we have to hide them from our pets, our two cats, because they will literally smell them out and come and steal them from the kids at the table. And so we have to ensure that we give the cats their own, which I believe is also in the Epigenus Dogs and Cats now. So that's how they can get their chlorella. But it's so beneficial for the entire family in that way. Whereas spirulina is seen more as nutrient, right? It's nutrient dense, as we said, it's nature's multivitamin. So that's really where you're getting so many great vitamins, all your B vitamins, you're getting your fatty acids from the spirulina. So that's the way I like to remember what each one is for. And both are so great for all of us, especially our kids. And then we have Heart Aid, and Heart Aid is one that I think it's such a vital. Obviously, we have to think about our heart, right? Our heart is the core of our body. It's what gets everything moving and pumping. So important, and we don't realize sometimes just how much stress we put our heart under. And it's not just through our nutrition that or lack thereof that we could be putting that pressure on our heart. We also do it in our stress levels, right? The lack of sleep. Every time we're putting stress, every time we're neglecting our bodies, our heart, we're expecting our heart to take on a whole lot more than it's already jam packed with a very important job to do. So we want to make sure that we're supporting our heart health. And this is the very best way that I can suggest to anybody or recommend to anyone to do that. And I'm always saying, like, you don't have to, this is not just for someone who has heart problems, perhaps that run in their families, right? Or if you've been diagnosed with something heart related or are at risk of, this is prevention. This is preventative. This is giving that extra TLC to your heart, right? Heart, big heart. It's the center of us. It's all about our love. Yes, it's also connected to our spirituality. I love that. Absolutely. And so we want to ensure that we're empowering it, right? We're strengthening it, and we're giving it that TLC that it needs. So Heart Aid is such a great one. I incorporate it in my daily regime on and off in the period of a year. So I'll order one and I'll go through the entire package, and then I might wait, another month or two, and then I'll add it in again. And that's how I've started to do it preventatively. And then there's Super Lights. So Super Lights is really healthy hydration. Dave spoke a lot about this on the call. This is like it was created for like the more extreme, right? The more extreme athletes, people who are losing a lot more hydration through their sport. But that doesn't mean that it's limited just to people who are, perhaps like high impact athletes. Um, Anyone could stand to use more hydration, and this is a very safe way, very effective way to increase that within the body.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. So
Mhm.
control prenatal capsules, I kind of mentioned this earlier in our trivia, is a really healthy way. It can really help to increase the weight loss, especially if you're on a plateau or if somebody is severely overweight and they don't want to change a lot of their lifestyle habits. This can be a really great go-to to just help move things along as they, start to incorporate more and more Purium products into their life. But this is really something that could help to get them off the plateau and get that weight loss jump started and help that process happen, because you take these about half an hour before any meal, and it can really help you to not absorb the sugars and carbs into your fat. It helps you to actually bypass those and lets your body just absorb the nutrients and let go of the waste and not necessarily turn those carbs and sugars into fat, which is phenomenal. And something that so many people in America need, because, let's face it, so many people in America are overweight and undernourished. And so what we have here at Purium is the perfect fit. It's easy, it's convenient, it's affordable, and anybody can do it. And so I really, if there's anybody that that could use any of these products that we've talked about today, definitely make a point to reach out to them this weekend, because these are all additionally on sale from our regular, discount that we get as customers or brand partners. So the next one is our Epigenius cats and dogs. And the Epigenius cats and dogs actually came out because so many people were requesting, like, well, I'm detoxing, but what can I give to my pets? And so we used to actually just suggest that you could give like the Kamut blend or the chlorella, put it on your cat or dog's pet food. And then they would consume it, because let's face it, whenever a cat or dog is not feeling well, they go and they eat grass. That's what actually helps to settle their stomach. The enzymes go in and they're able to settle their stomach from whatever they ate that made them not feel well. And so these two blends are really phenomenal for anybody that is a pet lover, anybody that has pets. Because let's face it, they're part of our family. We want them to be around and healthy for as long as possible. And so these can really help minimize tumors. They can help to hopefully avoid some, costly visits to the vet. They can help with your dog's breath and cat's breath and fur. Nice shiny coat of fur. It can really help them in so many ways. And they're lightly detoxing, which is so important, because we know our pets also have parasites. And so it's really important that we nourish and detox our pets as well, because they are part of our family. We love them. We want to snuggle them, and we want to make sure they're healthy, and that they smell good, and that their fur is nice and soft, and all of those things as well. So I'll pass it back over to you, Sherry.
But also, I just wanted to add there quickly too, glyphosate, right? That's an issue for our pets as well. In terms of their food, we know that many pet foods have tested high in glyphosate levels as well. And then there's, the amount of time that they spend outside on the grass, where we know that glyphosate is also sprayed on water as well. And so it's just a good all-around measure to think when we're thinking of how to detoxify and prevent ourselves from the damages of glyphosate. We should be thinking the same for our pets, and Epigenius dogs and cats is how we get to do that. And a quick thing I just want to add about the controlled pre-meal caps. That's another one for my son with diabetes, has been a huge game changer. So if he's going to have a meal that is particularly high in starches, like let's say a pasta, he is half Italian, and so pasta is one of the things that he loves most. And so it's not about, removing the pasta altogether. There's healthy ways to make it. But by him taking a controlled pre-meal capsule before he has his pasta, it helps the body to more effectively just break down and absorb those carbs in a way that is not going to send him into a sugar spike.
Thanks for bringing that to the table, because yeah, that's so important. And so next we have the Kamut blend, which Haley talked quite a bit about. These two
Yeah.
here at the end that are her top favorites. The Kamut blend is the kamut and the barley are actually the original products, but the kamut was the very first product that Purium created. And if you've heard Amy's story, then you know a little bit about how Dave and Amy used to do trade shows with just their kamut blend and how they would try to get it out there to the masses. And kamut is so special because it's not just wheatgrass juice powder. Like Haley mentioned, it has other juice powders, has the alfalfa and the oat grass juice powder as well. But kamut is an ancient grain wheatgrass from the tombs of Egypt. And Dave shared a little bit about it on Wednesday. He shared the story many times, but he was able to acquire a few of those seeds and sprout them and create more seeds so that that way we could actually have this ancient grain wheatgrass that doesn't contain gluten and has never been adulterated or changed or hybrid in any way. It's a pure original strain of kamut. So the nutrient density is there. It's really an incredible grass, and it's so healthy for us. It can help us with our skin. It can help with digestion. It can help with so many different aspects of just healthy living. And Haley's hoping that they'll put the family size on sale too. So we'll just stay tuned about that. Keep looking back to see if they put the family size on sale, because that's what we're really hoping for. And then the barley green juice is also so great. I know this one is also great for, like Sherry had mentioned, for her son with diabetes, you know, for the healthy blood sugar balancing, the healthy blood building. It's really great for female hormone balancing as well. Great to help create additional milk supply. It's really great for that. Barley green juice, it just has so many different benefits. And I've just really been enjoying this one for quite some time. And they're just, you can't get enough greens. And so whatever one of these that calls to you that you feel like would benefit you, you can add it into your power shake, into your smoothies, into your different fun recipes. Like Haley was sharing, you know, you could make some sweet treats or like a cheesecake, vegan cheesecake, and add some of these great things into it to make it even more nutrient dense. Is there anything else you wanted to share, Sherry?
No, I mean, I think that's it. I think I think we covered what we wanted to in terms of these sales. Of course, you know, I know, yeah, so we have a couple of extras here in the recap. So we have the super aminos, which is another great one that, you know, deserves some attention in and of itself. I love this sale. I always take advantage of this one. I think it's so fantastic. We have a lot of aminos in a day. It's just the most it's the easiest but most effective way to get protein. These are literally fermented lentils, fermented organic lentils. The way that the body absorbs them is so different from all of the other proteins out there, protein powders. It doesn't put any stress on your body. I can't recommend this enough. Lentils in the regular form, just to say that again, where you know diabetes is concerned, I found that lentils is the one and only protein that does not cause any type of sugar spike at all. And so you can imagine that means that, you know, just how gentle it is on the body and how it's providing the body with everything it needs without creating any more stress. So these super aminos are fantastic. We take them on a daily basis, as I said, and this is a fantastic sale because it's buy three and you get one free. So it's a really great time to stock up. Anything else you want to add about the slide, Naiva?
Well, super aminos, like you said, is like our go-to for most of us. That's, you know, our bread and butter, literally, is like the power shake and the aminos. And so the aminos are just so incredible. Definitely take this deal while you can, because we only have 2 sales a year, and this is one of them. So don't wait till, you know, fall, because you'll want to take advantage of that sale as well. But take advantage of this one while it's here right now. You're going to save so much. You can get some additional freebies as well. I just wanted to point out here that when you're shopping, if you get an ultimate lifestyle transformation, you'll get a cocoa hydrate with it. If you end up, or a can't beat this, I forget which one goes first. I think it's the can't beat this. So you'd get the can't beat this. And then if you got the ultimate lifestyle transformation, add a few products on, or maybe a different selection of these products that you saw here today, then you get 2 of these products. And then if you place an order over $750, you get all 3 of these products. So depending on how much you choose to spend, you will get some free gifts with that. And then also with the juice bar in a bag, you're also getting some additional gifts. If you've never tried this before, you guys, a juice bar in a bag is phenomenal. And each serving is under $1 per serving for everything in the juice bar in a bag. You have almost 200 servings of incredible juices, and they're so great for your entire family and so perfect for summer. So this one actually is really fun because it comes with a picnic blanket and a blender. So you could actually, you know, take your juice bar in a bag, your blender and your blanket, and you could just go to the beach and you have some really fun juices to stay hydrated during that time. And then a bunch of these items are also on the buy three, get one free list. So as you're shopping, make notes of the things that you're purchasing that are buy three, get one free. And if you want to continue purchasing them over the next couple months, then on the 4th month, you will get that item in your box for free. So, you know, have some fun shopping the sales. There's so many legacy greens on sale, the juice bar in a bag, the ultimate lifestyle transformations come with some freebies and so much more. So don't miss this opportunity to just stock up on some of your favorites.
Amazing. Absolutely. I know I'm going to be doing that right after the call. We have before Naiva does the call to action, and we unmute everybody so that we can hear what everyone's word of Purium is. I know that we're at the top of the hour, so I apologize that we've gone a little bit over, but we just have one more bonus trivia quiz question for everyone, and then we'll just wrap up the call. Okay. So if everyone's ready to put your answer in the chat, the question is, well, it's actually not so much a question, but finish this sentence. The quality of the food you eat is blank. Finish the question. The quality of the food you eat is. The answer came in already. Is equal to the quality of the life you live. Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely true. True with Purium, of course. Purium is quality, is that quality. Okay, great. So happy you see so many people knew that. Awesome. Okay, so Naiva, can I pass over to you so we can do our call to action?
Absolutely. And I so apologize for going over the time. I was not looking at the time at all. So give me just 1 second here to share my screen. So we'd love to encourage you. I know we've had some watch parties for Common Ground. We'd love to encourage you to start hosting your own watch parties like we did for Kiss the Ground and now for Common Ground, because you can get access to these recordings. So you can either pre-order these DVDs or these videos so that you can have them yourself. You can order them or pre-order them so you have them on hand. But there's also another opportunity here for schools and educators. Oh, let me go see. I think I pulled up the wrong page. There was another page I had open, but it disappeared on me. So if you go to this area of Common Ground, there is a page where you can actually schedule a date. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. I lost my other tab. Sorry, guys. You can go in here and you can actually request to have a showing. So you just put in your name, your information, what company you're representing, and you ask to have a showing. And so I'm not finding the link right here. I'm not sure where it went. But on this website, Common Ground Film Resources, there's lots of different resources, there's books, there's different stuff. We'd love for you to just educate yourself and share this education with people in your community. So I'm going to stop that screen share because it's not even bringing me to where I actually wanted to go. I apologize for that. I accidentally clicked out of the page I was trying to open. But regardless, Common Ground Film.org, and then on there within that website there is a place where you can request a showing, where you actually get a link to be able to show to your community. So go and do that, schedule your, you know, healthy happy hour, your live watch party, people coming over to your house, and let's watch that together and educate together. And last but not least, we want to invite you to be a part of our community. If you are not already, please like, follow, and share. So like our Facebook page, join our community on Facebook at Million Mom Movement Official. It's a Facebook group where the replays get posted with all the links that we shared here today. And I will find the link that I was talking about and I will repost it with the recording. I'll make sure and get the right link to post so that you can go and schedule your watch parties. And then follow us on Instagram, tag us in your posts and stories so that I can repost you and promote you as part of our community on the Million Mom Movement platform. And last but not least, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you are the very first to get the replays. And join us weekly every Friday here at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so that way you can see us next week. And next week we're going to be talking about, we're pivoting back to women's health, and we're going to be talking about menopause and that time of life. And so we'd love to invite you, if you are somebody who has gone through that time of life using Purium, if you'd like to be a guest, please reach out to us. And if you know anybody that's going through this time of life or about to, please invite them to come learn more from our community and people that have already gone through this experience. So back over to you, Sherry. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for staying on a little bit later than expected. We're going to close out with our word, our Purium word. I know I said one word and I'm breaking the rule already. I can't think of just one. So I have two. Mine are empowerment and nourishment. So Nayeva, you want to share yours, and we'll unmute, and you can either share in the chat or everyone can just say their word. You're muted.
Always get so excited I forget to unmute
I love
myself.
these.
So yeah, I love this idea. I love your words, the empowerment and nourishment. And for me, I think community. And you mentioned that at the very beginning, that's what we're here for. So yeah, I'd love to hear from all of you. What are some of your words?
I see some amazing ones coming in on the chat: radiance, nature, nurture, health, life, grateful, joy. Love them. Keep them coming.
Well,